Welcome back, artists. Today we are going to practice some of the designs that you can use on your PYSANKY eggs. So we're going to find our next empty page in our learning log, and we're going to start with the date. And we're going to just write down PYSANKY so we can kind of remember what we were doing. So it's P. And today is April 4th. And we're going to just draw together. There's a bunch of different things on here that we're going to do. The first one we're going to do is a ladder. It's kind of simple, right? We're going to do two parallel lines next to each other. So it's like we're making an H, but then we're going to put a bunch of little lines in between. So it looks kind of like a railroad track. Another thing they like to do is called pine needles. And with pine needles, we're going to draw a line. Usually it's a diagonal line. And then on this line, we're going to draw some V's. So I'm going to put an angle here and then go back. So see how I'm drawing a V on top of that line to show the different needles for the pine needles. And I would go all the way down. Another thing they do are ribbons. So these are just lines that go all the way around the egg, and you can do any kind of line that you want. We can do this sort of wave line. This is a little bit tricky. So we're going to start with a curve up, and then we go backwards and repeat it. So there's like a little C. Then I go up higher, stop, and go back with a little C. High, little C, up high, and a little C. And I would just continue that around. This one's kind of a fancy one. It's sort of like a trapezoid. You go in, out, across, in, out. Okay, so then I'm gonna go out, across, in, out. Go kind of far. Then I zigzag up, across, in, out. Up, across, in, whoops, kind of running out of room. There we go. And you can just do a simple one too, just like a line, a zigzag line. Another way to make this even a little bit fancier would be, instead of doing just one line, you would go back and do a second line to make it thick. All right, that's also an option. All right, there are curls. So that's just a spiral. I like to start in the center with like a small circle, then I just grow bigger and bigger. But I know some people start big and then work towards the center. You can do it however you would like for a spiral. There are triangles. So I'm starting with kind of the easy ones. And then there's our dots or small circles. So you could do polka dots like this, where you make a circle, or you could just do a dot. Those are patterns that they use as well. A sun, you've probably made one of these before, right? A circle, and then you can do a pattern with the rays of the sun. So long, short, long, short, long, short, all the way around. All right, a rake I think is kind of fun. You start with like a T, and again, this one's on an angle. So I'm gonna draw like a big T, but it's angled. And I'm gonna put little lines on the top. Okay. Bars are just curls with lines at them. So it's sort of like this, but instead of starting with the circle, you start with a line, go up, and then you curve. And you can go either way. So it looks sort of like antenna if you want. We have a net. So you just start with a square or a diamond. And then what you do is you repeat this side line by filling it in with stripes. And then I go this way too. So I'm making like a checkerboard inside. There's a couple of things here. The spider This one's a little bit trickier. I start with a circle and then I do like a curve, and then I go back to the circle and curve again, curve again, curve again. They call this a spider, starting in the circle. The ram's horns looks sort of like a heart, but it has spirals in the center. So you can, I think the easiest way to do it would be to start with like a U shape, right? And then I can just continue this one into a spiral. And then I would come back over here and do this one into a spiral as well. All right, the windmill is, I usually start with like an X. See how there's like an X here? I do an X, nice long skinny X, go across. And I'm going to do the same thing this way. So I'm going to go a long skinny X here, and then I connect the lines. All right, let's see, a butterfly. You can probably do a butterfly, but we'll do one together. It's a skinny circle, and then you just do 2 humps. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then they even put a little antenna on it. If you wanted to, you could add patterns. Let's see. So we've done all these. Oh, the bird can be can be fun too. So you start with like an X line. Okay, so it's like a stretched out S. Then I'm going to start here and I'm going to go repeat this line. And then I can give it some feet, some little lines with a line down with 3 little spikes. I can put a little beak on the end here if I wanted to, an eye, and then if you want to do fancy feathers on the tail, you can do that too. All right. Next we'll do the cross and the sun and stars because they start similar. If you've played tic-tac-toe, you can probably draw this. Do you see how this is like a tic-tac-toe board on the front? So I'm going to draw a tic-tac-toe board, like I'm going to play tic-tac-toe, but instead of doing tic-tac-toe, I put little curls on the ends, and they go towards the corner. So over here, I'm sort of making it look like this. So I'm going to curve this in and in over here. I'm going to do that on all of the corners, or the ends, I guess. They go towards each other, so it looks sort of like a heart. All right, the stars, the fancier stars are similar. Again, tic-tac-toe board. So I'm going to do a tic-tac-toe board here. And then instead of doing the curls, they put a V in the center. So I'm going to go here and put a V in. And then I put a V here, a V here, and a V here. All right, and the last one is this rose one. I'm sort of out of room over here, so I'm going to do it on this page. I'm going to start with a circle in the center, and then I'm going to draw big lines that go, it's like a plus sign, that go to the sides. And then I'm going to go do a smaller angled line in between. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat, I'm going to fill this line in, but it goes further down than this one. So I need to make it longer here. And then I finish this up with an upside down V. So again, I repeat this line so it's longer than the middle one, and then I put a V inside. Now this one I'm going to go this way, longer, and then I put a V inside. And there we have the basic designs for our PYSANKY eggs.